Hi, welcome to Move It Love. And in Move It Love, this is finding your movement. So you're going to be finding the movement that works for you. I'm going to be showing you the foundations of all the movements we are going to be building on. But for your assessment first, we're going to be starting with four, five movements. Is the squat, the lunge, the deadlift, the core, and the push-up. So what I mean by core is the plank, a static movement. So we have the hinge, and we have the push, pull, hinge, static, we have the rotation, and I'm going to be showing you all of that. But first, for your assessment, we're going to be starting with the squat. You should know how to do the squat, the deadlift, the lunges, the static holds, and then the push pull. Let's get started. First, I'm going to be showing you the squat. When it comes to the squat, I want you to focus on building a solid hold with the ground using your legs. So you're going to plant your legs firmly into the ground, right? So you plant your legs firmly into the ground. You don't need to touch it. I'm just trying to demonstrate something. Plant your legs firmly into the ground. Make sure it's unmovable. Like you should feel like a tree planted into the ground, and that will give you a firm feel of what your whole body should feel like. Your whole body should feel like one solid trunk of tree into the ground, just to give you a foundation of feeling with movement, than to help you stop thinking when it comes to movement. And what this does for you is that you get to experience the movement than rushing through it. So we're going to be slowing down a lot. Let's get started. So is the squats. You plant your leg firmly into the ground. When it comes to squats, when it comes to all movement, I want you to find the flexibility to find what works for you, what feels good. So we're going to be doing a lot of feeling and less thinking. So you're going to plant your leg firmly into the ground and squat out. I'm going to show you from the side. Plant your legs from the side. This is what it looks like. Plant your legs firmly into the ground. You should be engaging your quads by now. You should be feeling it here. And if you don't feel it yet, just give it time. The idea is to make sure the 3 points of your leg is planted firmly into the ground. Here, here, and your toes. You should feel them all planted into the ground, and then slowly hinge, bend at the knee, slowly, and hinge on the waist. Hold it and push back up. Hold it and push back up. Anyway that feels comfortable. You're going slow because you want to feel what it feels like for your knee, for your ankle, for your hips, right? But if you can't get to this place, it's fine. It's a start of something, okay? Slowly bring it back up, and that is your squat. And the next one we're going to be doing is the deadlift. We're going to be doing the deadlift to allow us rest from all that work we just did with the squat. So when it comes to the deadlift, the same thing. As long as you're standing on the ground, as long as you're standing, you want your leg planted firmly into the ground, right? So now we are going to do what is called the hinge movement, and there are lots of movements that will develop from this. So when it comes to the hinge movement, I want you to plant your legs firmly into the ground, lock your knees, make sure it's not moving. You're only able to bend at the waist. Keep your back straight and static, and try to bend your hip bone. All right, as you're going, you're planting firmly into the ground and back. If you're doing it correctly, as you bend, you're going to feel your bone twist, and you're going to feel it on your glutes. And back and back. So I don't want you bending this way. There's no need to do that. You're going to want to back to where you feel like a trunk of a tree planted firmly into the ground. Bend and back. Bend and back. And that is our deadlift. Next, since we have rested a little bit, we're going to go back into a squat movement. So it's the lunge. However, we're going to be moving, bending one knee at a time. You plant your legs into the ground. So you're just going to not overthink where you're going to do your lunge, but slow down enough to know what feels good for you. From here, you're going to bring your leg backwards and lunge. So this involves a more complex movement because you are squatting and you're hinging a little bit, right? And squat, up. So it's tricky. So I'm going to turn to the front to show you what it looks like. When you're going to do the lunge, you're meant to be standing planted firmly into the ground. But however, when you're going down, I don't want your knees caving in. So how you afford to do this is planting this leg into the ground. So let's say you are moving this one backwards. This one is planted firmly into the ground, and this helps you find your balance somewhere here, and you move. See what I did there? This feels good to me. The essence of this movement is to find what feels good to you, even doing the same movement. It doesn't have to look the same for the both of us. And I noticed that when I bend forward, it feels good to me, right? So you find what works for you, but the principle remains the same, right? Don't cave in. Caving in is not healthy for your knees because your knees are not able to move this way. Your knees move this way, squat, and that is our lunge. You don't have to go very fast. Slow it down, find your balance, and move with the other leg. And that is our lunges. So we're going to go into the next thing we're going to do is our planks. So I know we get scared, but the plank is really important to help you build some core movement. However, I know we find it really boring, but necessary. However, there are other movements you can do to help you build your core, but your plank is a very interesting part of the movement that helps you build that trunk feeling from head to toe, right? So first we can start with our knee planks. However, the point of the plank movement is that you're pushing away from the ground, just pushing away from the ground. Focus on pushing your body away from the ground for as long as you can, even if it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20, 2 seconds, right? As long as you're pushing away, it's really important. So you're pushing away into the ground. Lift your knee up. Because I'm focused on breathing and pushing away, I can hold far longer and it's more tolerable when you do it this way. Trust me. You can try to challenge yourself. I'm challenging myself right now. And when it gets tiring, I can go into a wow thing. I've been doing yoga, so it has really helped me with my breathing and my balance and the rest. So that is why finding your movement is really important for you to help you explore and play with movement, even the really difficult ones.